about this person's Neville Goddard and how he is pretty famous among these people who are pretty active using law of attractions. And why this kind of idea? It's pretty messy. And what is it in his natal chart that describes the delusions of these ideas of philosophy that led him to think that manifestations is a ways of everything and just basing out the laws of karma itself? And he is pretty much an influential person in the mystical of a Western's age spiritual teaching guru that really is, to these days, people really referring to him as the masters of manifestation. If you don't know that, before he learning about these techniques, so-called techniques of manifestation, this man, before all of this, he was actually quite invested in learning about astrology. I assume it's based in the Western systems. But then he stopped. I think it's because he met this spiritual person. I think his name is Abdullah. It is an Ethiopian rabbi from New York City, and how it changed basically the way he thinks about the world. Nafal met this guru in the years of 1931, I think, and he pretty much has studied learnings about the philosophy, this philosophies of basically that taught him how to manifest things for 5 years until the years of 1939, if I'm correctly saying. 1939 or maybe 1936. Sorry for that mistakes. But yes, that's the moment the mind is shifted. As you can see, during the time that he met this person, this guru, the active Mahadasha is already starting in Moon's Mahadasha. What's so interesting about this Moon Mahadasha, by the way, and how it is related to this flawed philosophy of what is universe, and how he thinks that he basically can just control the destinies of life without any single ideas how karma is actually playing part. As you can see in his natal chart, we focus now in only this part, the part that really reshape his mind and how he actually think about the world in general. If you're looking at the conjunctions between Rahu and the moon, if you're looking at the positions of Saturn itself, Saturn casting that 7 aspect to where is the moon and Rahu, there is a 3 planet aspecting the moon itself from the aspect, and there is conjunctions of Rahu. So there is indeed great affliction in his mind. And I think that this is the time when he learning these ideas of weird philosophy of the universe, and these false illusions that brings delusion and also confusions, and how the karma is actually playing part in someone's life. Because naturally, when the mind itself is so severely afflicted, we tend to think that life is like this, and how can we change? And that is Rahu itself. Rahu is with the moon, the conjunctions of the moon, and there is 7 aspect to the moon from Saturn. And the conjunction itself is in the signs of Leo, which is the depositors of Leo is also afflicted. You see? The depositors of Leo is the sun. The sun itself placed in 6th house of Aquarius. Both of these illuminary planets, by the way, if you're looking, the sun and the moon, they are illuminary planets. They are both afflicted. So when the mind, it is afflicted by the planet that is ruling illusion, This can bring an idea of delusional ideas of why he see the world in this lens of illusion. You might be thinking that during that times, because the positions of the moon itself is actually in 12th house. What is 12th house? 12th house is the house of the subconscious. The moon itself has a direct 7 aspect to the signs of Aquarius, which is the sign that represents karma. And what is Rahu doing? Rahu is also casting that 7 aspect into where is the signs of Aquarius. So the starting points in his moon Mahadasha, it is indeed a catalyst of how this idea, these delusional ideas of manifestation is actually playing part in his life. It is profoundly the reason why he thinks this way. Saturn itself casting that 3rd aspect to where is Jupiter. Jupiter is placed in the 8th house of Aries. By the house, it is considered quite strongly connected to the occultism, occult learning. The sign itself is also represents the self, ego, and wanting to express that energy. But because Saturn's casting that strong aspect to where is Saturn, sorry, where is Jupiter placed? I wouldn't say that Jupiter is afflicted, but the house itself, it is really the house that create this obstacle. You know, it is a Dustana house. Jupiter placed in Dustana houses. In Dustana in 8th house, and Saturn itself occupying the 6th house. Not saying that Saturn's place in the 6th house is bad. It actually doing the opposite. It is actually quite beneficial. And I think during Jupiter Mahadasha itself, it becomes strongly, locked in, you can say, because there is 3rd aspects from Saturn itself, creating this strong philosophy, these ideas of manifestation, that this has to work this way, this has to work this way. And Saturn making it solidify the energies of Jupiter itself. So this is why he is strongly believe in the ideas of his, philosophy. When if you're looking at the position again from Moon's and Rahu position, the Moon is extremely afflicted. So this dynamics of strong belief systems that he created for himself, and this delusional mind that the ideas of universe, it becomes more pronounced, in his moon Mahadasha. This is the Antardasha within moon's Mahadasha. When he published this his book, I think it's during Venus Antardasha. Venus was active here from 1939 up to 1941. So Venus was pretty much active in that time when he published this book. And if you're looking at the positions of Venus itself is exalted in Pisces. So these ideas of like you can say delusion, because remember the moon is severely afflicted. These ideas of manifestation, love of attractions, and how we can manifest things, and how he published these books. It was during Venus Antardasha. So that is the reasons why his idea become, you can say, like well known to the public. It is interestingly pretty interesting how someone can have these ideas of creating fate. Can we create our destiny? Yes, we can, but not in the current time. That's not how karma is. Yes, there is a free will. In the systems of karma, of the pillars of karma, there is main pillars of karma. Parapadan karma, Sanchit karma, and also Crimean karma. The Crimean is the free will that we can make for what? For our future destination. But the current life that we lived in, the situation, the condition that we live in, it is already predestined, predestined. And that is what you call it, Bharabaran karma. Now, what is Sanchit? Sanchit is the karma that you're creating in the current time, the free will creating that karma, and it is stored in the Sanchit. So to think and to have this idea, how can we shift reality? We can create our reality with positive thoughts, positive affirmation. Like really? I mean, it is good, to have a positive mindset, of course, but to have this quite strong hopes, because this is technically hopes. Someone who doing this thing, someone who have this idea to change his life, because there is something that trigger the situation. Maybe because someone doesn't like his current life, obviously, and wants to change it to a different circumstances. But if life itself teach you the hardest things, the hardest lessons, instead of like trying to change, why don't we learning the lessons instead of like trying to move away from the reality, the responsibility that we have to endure to learn from it. This is another thing. It's called coping mechanism. It's how someone is trying to basically run away from the responsibilities of life. A true spirituality, in essence, we just have to live our life and remains what? Remains humble, remains calm despite of the struggle that we have. That's the biggest lessons. That's the biggest thing, and how we burns our karma. So this idea, this person's I'm sorry to say this, but it is pretty much conflicted. I don't think that this person even know how karma is actually work. So it is quite dangerous idea to have. But I don't think that these ideas of how karma works will be accepted to many people that wants to, you know, eagerly change her or his life. It's another reason, it's another traps of the Maya.